At 3:42 p.m., South China Sea, the radar operator on the USS John Finn notices a new contact. Two warships have appeared at the edge of the display, both moving fast. The tracker zooms in and confirms the silhouettes. Chinese Type 052D guided missile destroyers. These are not patrol ships. They are frontline combat vessels, equipped with phased array radars and long-range anti-ship missiles. The USS John Finn is running routine freedom of navigation operations in the South China Sea. Calm water, clear skies, nothing unusual. Until now. A voice on the bridge breaks the silence. Contact, two vessels bearing 138, heading toward us. Speed 40 knots. 40 knots is not routine. That is pursuit speed. The first officer steps toward the windows and raises binoculars. The wakes behind the Chinese vessels are long and white. The ships look like they are cutting the ocean in half. The captain enters the bridge. He does not speak yet. He watches. The room is quiet, except for the ship's engines and the soft beeps from radar. Another update comes from Combat Information Center. CPA projected less than 2 nautical miles. Both vessels on intersecting course. CPA means closest point of approach. Anything under 2 miles between warships is considered a challenge. The captain responds. Maintain course. Maintain speed. Log all data. The 2 Chinese destroyers continue closing the distance. Their hull numbers appear, one on each side of John Finn's bow. They are now close enough to identify the class. Type 052D, Luoyang 3, each carries vertical launch cells, anti-ship missiles, and modern radar. In Combat Information Center, the SLQ-32 electronic warfare system starts pulling signatures. Every radar pulse the Chinese ships emit is analyzed and stored. This is not just a close encounter. This is intelligence gathering. Another officer calls out. New behavior! Starboard vessel has changed radar mode. Active surface track. Surface track means the ship is now painting the USS John Finn on radar. The captain stays calm. Log it. Continue. The Chinese destroyers shift positions. Instead of converging, they move to a parallel run on both sides of the American ship. Formation sailing at high speed. The US Navy sees something different. Thank you for giving us perfect flank angle data. Type 346A array confirmed. The USS John Finn just collected priceless signal intelligence without firing a shot. The captain orders the launch of an MH-60R Seahawk helicopter. The Seahawk lifts off and banks toward the Chinese ships. The crew activates AFLIR targeting camera. They zoom in on vertical launch cells and radar arrays. The Chinese destroyers finally react. One ship flashes a targeting laser at the helicopter. The crew does not back off. Instead, the FLIR locks on the laser source. Laser source identified, marking coordinates. The helicopter has effectively tagged the ship and exposed its optical tracking position. Back on the bridge, sailors listen as a radio message bursts through VHF. Mandarin. Unidentified American warship. You are in Chinese territorial waters. Leave immediately. The bridge response is short. This is a United States naval vessel operating in accordance with international law. We will continue our operations. No raised voice, no emotion, just procedure. The Chinese ships do not leave. They tighten formation again. Distance narrows. Tension builds. For the next 30 minutes, both sides move silently, waiting for one small mistake. This is the dangerous part of modern naval encounters. No missiles, no gunfire, just pressure. Every sailor knows that miscommunication can turn a close pass into an international incident. Combat Information Center announces an update. Chinese vessels reducing speed, breaking formation. The wakes flatten. The hulls slow. They turn away one at a time. A young sailor whispers, almost to himself, "They blinked." The captain does not react. He only says, "Maintain course. Log final data, secure from general quarters." The ocean feels wider again. On the chart table, the plotted movement shows a perfect picture. Chinese warships attempted a close interception. The United States Navy continued without altering course. In other words, freedom of navigation stands. International waters remain international waters. Later, when the log is reviewed, analysts will see something bigger than a close encounter. They will see a pattern that is repeating more often. Nations are pushing boundaries, testing reactions, measuring each other. A sailor asks quietly, "Do you think this is how the next conflict starts?" No one answers. They all know the real truth. In the modern world, war is not triggered by missiles. War begins when someone decides they cannot afford to back down. The USS John Finn sails forward, steady and deliberate. The ocean behind it churns white. Ahead, only open water and horizon. The encounter is over, but the message remains. What happened here isn't just a close naval encounter. It's a clear example of psychological warfare at sea. China pushed in fast, silent, and aggressive, trying to create tension and forced the United States into reacting. This wasn't about navigation. It was about dominance. When a navy moves toward another ship at high speed without communication, that's not coincidence. That's pressure. China wanted to send a message. We control these waters. By closing distance without hails or warnings, they were testing how far they could bend professionalism without crossing the line into open confrontation. Speed, silence, and proximity were their tools. Instead of firing weapons, they used uncertainty as leverage. But the US destroyer responded with something far stronger than aggression: discipline. They held course. They didn't flinch, didn't turn, didn't react emotionally. They showed the power of confidence. When a ship remains steady under pressure, that tells the other side something loud and clear. We don't need to prove anything. That's real power. Anyone can accelerate toward a confrontation. Not everyone can stay calm when the other side tries to provoke them. In my opinion, the US won without firing a shot. Not by force, but by control. China escalated the situation. The United States ended it. No threats, no panic, just presence. When your enemy tries to provoke you and you remain unshaken, you own the situation.